Welcome back to another edition of Night Report Podcast. I'm your host today, or co-host, I guess, me and you. Richie O'Leary, Alec Crouthamel, the Night Report Podcast, nightreport.com. Check us out on there. Alec, we got some breaking news today. First time in a long time, I feel like we're doing a recruiting pod. This is different. Like, I feel like it's just been since July, but Rutgers Basketball. So actually, it's preferred that one of those recruiting pods. It's probably been since last year. But Rutgers Basketball lands their first 2026 commit in Imahri Wooten, guard out of New York. Top 200 kid, ranked number 168 in the country per the Rivals industry ranking. Alec, before I even ask you what is he bringing to the table, what is his game like, all this other good stuff. As always, this podcast is sponsored by FanDuel. FanDuel, the number one sports book for all your sports betting needs, whether it be football, college basketball, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. FanDuel, I forget their slogan, so I'm sorry, I apologize, but that's it. Alec, Imahri Wooten, tell me about him. Pretty solid guard, it seems like, for a first get for Pikel.
Yeah, this is how the 2026 class kicks off. It kind of seems like it's kind of a running trend from last year's class as well, where they kind of really aim high and they miss out on some of those top targets. Josiah Jervis, I mean, he has just exploded on the scene. Darius and Adonis Ratliff, actually teammates at Archbishop Stepanak, they missed out on some of their top 2026 targets, and now they're starting to get some of those middle-ranked guys, and especially in today's age in the transfer portal, high school recruiting, you're seeing a lot of mid-majors get some like four-star guys and things like that. So just kind of how recruiting is evolving more towards the transfer portal. So I will say this is a pretty solid get for Rutgers. He's a really good shooter. That's probably his best attribute. Whether it's off the catch or, off a screen or anything like that. He's a very confident shooter. He has a really good form. It's compact, it's consistent. The ball just looks really good coming off his hands from what we've seen with City Rocks. And honestly, I was pretty impressed when he plays with City Rocks on the EYBL circuit. They run a lot of half-court sets, especially for him as well, to set him up on the outside. So that was pretty impressive. And again, he's not afraid of closeouts either. He will let it fly. Even if there's a defender coming out at him, he still maintains that same form, which is definitely something to like for your guard. For question marks, I will say he's not the most athletic. There's not a lot of self-creation. It's a lot of just, spot-up looks off screens, like I said, things like that. He's solid at the rim, although, again, not a great athlete, so how well is that going to work at the next level? I don't know. That's really the main concern, is that there's not a lot of self-creation. How is he going to look when he has to create for himself? Because obviously, you're not only going to score off of looks, and off passes and off screens and things like that. He moves pretty well in transition, though. I will say that, even if the high-end athleticism isn't there, he knows where to be in transition. He gets to his spots, usually makes good decisions as well. Like we're seeing here, just a nice floater. He kind of rises up. You can also kind of see, he's not the highest flyer, so some of the looks may be a little bit more difficult, but he looks pretty good doing it. So, yeah, I think the biggest thing for him is that he's a really good shooter. You can see, his form looks very good, very repeatable. So how he develops in college in terms of his scoring ability is going to be interesting to see, because he definitely has that shooting floor. There's a lot to like there.
Yeah, he is interesting for the sole fact that they haven't had a shooter in God knows how long. I mean, technically, you could argue they've had shooters. They just haven't been able to use them specifically. Do you feel like they can actually get him set up and get him open, or is this more of like a guy I'm just going to spot up in the corner and pray that no one guards him?
I mean, from what I'm seeing here, I would say yes, because, like I said, there's a lot of closeouts that attack him, and he's just not afraid of them. He'll still rise up. He's got a high release as well, which definitely helps. So I think, as long as you can get him some good looks, which, knowing Rutgers' offense has been a bit of a challenge lately these last couple of years. So, as long as you can get him some semblance of open looks, he doesn't even need that much space to rise up. So I do think that there's something there with him to really help him create some offense. Now, how early is that going to be? It's a bit of a question mark, kind of as it is for a lot of high school recruits. He's also kind of bounced around a lot. Richie, if you want to get into some of his background and how he ended up at Rutgers as well.
Yeah, so he's a Troy, New York native, first off. Goes down to Compass Prep for the 2023 season down in Arizona, one of those big prep schools because they're just popping up left and right in Arizona, it seems like. Goes to Putnam Science Academy up in New England, and that's kind of where Rutgers started to get more involved with him. Now, they knew he was a New York kid. They knew who he was. Putnam Science Academy has a good relationship with TJ Thompson, who's got good relationships with pretty much everyone in the New England area. But for him to leave Putnam to go back home to a school closer to home at Redemption Christian Academy, I don't want to say it's concerning. I understand it because you want to go back home, play with guys that are local, play, and just be closer to your family too in all this. Like it's tough for a 15, 16-year-old kid to go from Arizona to New England to New York when he grew up in New York, sort of, kind of, for the most part. So he's back home at Redemption Christian Academy. They're not a well-known program, but they do have one NBA player, and I forget his name out already, Alec. I know you know it, but
Yeah, Delano Banton. He actually played with Ron Harper Jr. and the Raptors 905 G League team.
Okay, there you go. So a little connection there, but yeah, I mean, Rutgers just got him to campus pretty much last weekend, and they really just sealed the deal. It's interesting for his recruitment specifically because he took official visits extremely early. He took them last year too, and he took officials to Auburn and Missouri, and it seemed like he was kind of leaning towards Auburn. Then they kind of shied away a little bit, found some other targets elsewhere. I don't know what Auburn's reasoning is or anything like that. It could have been X amount of factors, but they decided not to pursue him anymore. And then Rutgers got involved this summer after watching him work out in one of his EYBL workouts, and then went to see him again. And then Pico and Marlon Williamson actually went to go see him this 2 weeks ago at his high school at Redemption Christian. And they got him on campus 2 days later, and that really is what it was. That's it. Sealed the deal. He loved everything about Rutgers, had a really good time on his visit, and now Rutgers has their first commit in the 2026 class. So I want to ask you this. 2026 class, I know it's obviously far from done, but there's no way, and this is no offense to Wooten, he's a very good shooter. He can't be the centerpiece of this class.
Yeah, he definitely is better served as a complementary piece to the class. Like we talked about earlier on, Rutgers has really shot high early on at the very least in this recruiting class. I mean, we saw that they were going after, again, the stepping at guys. They were going after guys that are really ranked highly and just kind of missed out on those. And I mean, looking at Auburn, they've really done pretty well in recruiting this 2026 class as well. I mean, they've hosted a lot of guys for official visits. They're hosting 5-star Caleb Holt, who's top 5 in the country in a couple weeks. They already hosted him once earlier on, but they're hosting him again in a couple weeks. Kevin Thomas from Montverde, they're hosting him for an official visit the week after on October 17th. So, yeah, I wonder if – I am curious about that, if they're moving on because they have higher targets. Because Caleb Holt, another 6'5" combo shooting guard type, so I wonder if they're just aiming higher. Yeah, it's definitely interesting to look at where they go from here. I believe the Darius Atkins visit already happened, right? Or Davion Atkins, excuse me.
Yeah, Davion Atkins just happened this past week.
That was last weekend. Okay,
I just Kansas.
When you're going up against Houston and Kansas, and then they're also hosting Darius Bivens for homecoming weekend, I believe too.
Correct.
So it's interesting to see how this class will go. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the offers, there's definitely a lot of guys there. It seems like Darren Rippey already eliminated Rutgers. They've offered a lot of guys in this class. Bivens, one of the main guys at guard. Latrell Almond, I believe he also eliminated Rutgers. Yeah. So there's just a lot of guys they're going after. And I'm wondering if there's going to be any like late, I don't want to say late bloomers, but like guys that kind of come up that weren't really involved earlier on, because we're kind of around the same time frame of last year's class where you talk about Javonte Ware's the first guy. It was around this time last year, actually, that he committed. He committed around I think it was September 23rd. And then the next couple of weeks, there were other guys that kind of that committed as well. Caden Power, Elino Mark was the second one, then Caden Powers, then Chris Namoli, and so on and so forth. So I'm interested to see how this class kind of continues to change in terms of, is there going to be more guys involved? Because there's only a couple of guys that are scheduled for visits, only one in the future. So how are they going to build upon the first commitment? Because it feels like when you get your first commitment, everything just kind of moves in motion from there. Just getting that first one, getting over the hump, everything kind of moves on from there. I'm wondering who some of those other targets can be and whether they're going to take another big high school class, because the 2025, well, technically 2025 when you count Harun Zerno and Dennis Badalu, that's 7 guys, but even 5-man class is pretty big in the high major ranks in this era of college basketball, even just the true freshman guys. So that's what I'm looking for, where they go from here, whether they send out a bunch of new offers and host a lot more guys, or they try to make this a smaller class and focus on the transfer portal like a lot of the other high majors are doing.
I just don't know if they can afford the transfer portal, and that's my biggest fear. Is you can't go into this every year with what, $4 million, $5 million in total with revenue sharing and say, yeah, we're going to rebuild through the portal every year. That's just not realistic. Like, now, mind you, they did add, like you just said, a bunch of freshmen. So if you can retain all those guys, and realistically, like, who do they lose this offseason? I don't, if based on senior eligibility.
I believe
Buchanan's got another year, doesn't he? Or am I wrong on that?
Actually, no. Yeah, I think you're right.
I got the
because he redshirted at Virginia Tech, then he played 2 years at George Washington, so yeah, he's 2 years left.
The only person technically they would lose this year is Emmanuel Ogboe, and I don't even know how that works technically because the whole JUCO ruling with the Indiana prospect this past week in football kind of makes it seem like that everyone that had a JUCO year is going to be eligible no matter what for an extra year. So yeah, hypothetically, Emmanuel Ogboe could be your starting center in 26, 27. You don't want that, but
yeah, he's the only senior listed on the team. They got Byfall as a junior. Darren Buchanan is a redshirt junior. Jermichael Davis is a junior as well. Tariq Francis is junior. So they got a lot of youth on this team. It's just a matter of like retaining them and keeping them around. Obviously, you're not going to keep everybody, but if you can keep a lot of them, I guess that sets. I mean, obviously, if the season goes way south, then all bets are off. But I mean, if they have some success and they put together some consistent performances, or at least show flashes of consistent performance, then you can justify keeping a lot of these guys around. I'm wondering how they kind of attack the offseason then.
Now, it's not going to be a one-man class. We know that. And they're not going to keep all 14 players. So I can tell you for a fact. Even if Ogboe has that extra year, they're not keeping all 14. That's just not realistic, like in today's day and age. Like, they're bound to lose some people, whether it be to transferring up, transferring down, etc. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks in terms of recruiting. And I do think, like what you said before, they're overshooting what they should be going for. Like, they shot for Darren Rippey Jr., local kid. They have zero shot at him right now. He already eliminated him. He's going to Syracuse this weekend.
I felt like that one was justifiable because it seemed like he was really considering Rutgers for a long time in that process, and then the bigger name schools got, like, once Duke kind of got involved, you kind of tell that things weren't going to go Rutgers' way.
So many resources on that, and then we knew for a fact, like from the beginning, when Blue Blood was calling, that was over, and then he erupted. Now he's top 10, 12 in the country. But not just him, like there's others too, like the Ratliff twins. Like, yes, you host them on a visit, great, but you can't put all these resources into them when you know for a fact they're not coming to Rutgers. Like, I don't know. I just feel like they aim too high, and then by the time they're done, it's just like, okay, now we have to pick up. Not that Wooten is this by any means. I think Wooten's a nice complimentary piece. I think that the rest of this class could be a little bit questionable, and that's where you really lose me. But we'll wait and see. I do like Wooten as a player. I like him a lot. I just, looking through the offer list in 26, it seems like they're probably going to have to send out a couple more offers if they want to land more 26 kids, because everyone else is either committed or leaning elsewhere at the moment. So what else recruiting-wise? You said Darius Bivens is coming on a visit in a couple weeks. He's one that I would keep a potential close eye on. He's another kid that really liked Rutgers. He was a Virginia kid, came to Rutgers for an unofficial, last year during the season. Around this almost this exact day this year, September 27, 24. Came on an unofficial visit, almost committed on the unofficial visit. And then his someone got in his ear and said, hold on, don't do that yet. Like, wait, he just visited Stanford. He's visiting USF, then he'll visit Rutgers and VCU. VCU is the one to watch. Texas Tech is another one that's keeping close tabs on him, offered him. I think right now Rutgers has a good shot. I wouldn't say a great shot yet, but you land him, and then, okay, now we're talking about a solid recruiting class. He's a top 75 kid, really talented. Then you can kind of build on stuff like that. But as of right now, I think the jury's still out. And I think a lot of people, like even watching this and even just talking Rutgers basketball, the mood is just down. Hell, we see it with like our boards and our views and everything. Like, it's not great right now, but I do think Imahri Wooten is a solid get, a good shooter, a very good prospect, but he can't be the main piece. And that goes back to basically what I was saying before.
Yeah, and I mean, just kind of looking around the rest of the recruiting class, they did offer another 2026 kid about a week ago, Seven Spurlock from Dynamic Prep, so a teammate of Chris Nwoli out in Texas. I mean, I don't know a lot about him, so let's check it out. Let's see.
Know much about him at all. Actually, former Dynamic Prep kid. So,
right, yeah, Chris Nwoli.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, he's now at.
I think he's
Prolific,
on the team
though.
Oh, he is a Prolific. Okay.
Or was at Prolific, now at Dynamic. Sorry.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I don't know if he was teammates with Nwoli. Prolific
you're right.
last
He would
year.
not
It
have,
depends when he switched, but either way.
because Nwoli went to Prolific like midway through the season. He actually plays on the Puma Pro 16 circuit. I believe that's where Javonte Ware played as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's ranked 170th nationally. He's a small forward, 6'4", 210. That's what he's listed at small forward at least. I would be surprised if he plays more guard at the next level.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's guard, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like he's got some solid programs that are interested at least. So I'm wondering, like I said, some of those guys that kind of pop up out of nowhere, and then Rutgers gets involved. So we'll see.
Yeah, something to note too is like I talked to a kid the other day, a 28 kid that Rutgers offered. I forget his name. I think his name was actually Boo Mahone, something like that. I gotta double check. I gotta write up the article too. Yeah, Boo Mahoon, Boss Mahoon. Okay, I was close. Not even close.
It's quite a name.
Yeah, Boss Mahoon, and he. I was just asking him. He's like, I know nothing about Rutgers, but you know what I do know? I know my favorite player growing up was Dylan Harper. I used to watch his highlight tapes and this and that, and little stuff like that's going to help Rutgers get kids in the door. But it's going to be on this coaching staff to sell them on the program and sell them on the coming to Rutgers and being a Scarlet Knight in the future. I think you'll see a lot of unofficial visitors throughout the future just because of Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. But I think you're going to need to lock these kids into not only just official visits, but you have to be able to secure the deal and get them to sign, even though there's not really signatures anymore, on the dotted line, for lack of a better term. But it's going to be interesting. That's really all I got on Imahri Wooten and Rutgers basketball recruiting. I don't know if there's really much more. You got anything?
So, yeah, I did find a quick write-up from Jamie Shaw, who's one of our top national basketball guys on the Puma Pro 16 circuit down in Memphis back in May. He listed Spurlock as a pretty strong performer. He said he's a do-it-all type forward, big connector piece, initiating offense, multi-positional defense. So that's probably the biggest selling point for him. It doesn't seem like he has a lot of shooting at this point. It seems like he's less of an offensive guy and more of like just kind of like one of those versatile Steve Peichel type guys where they can, even when they're not scoring, they can make an impact, whether it's on defense, passing the ball, just overall toughness, things like that. So I guess we could be on the lookout to see if maybe he scheduled a potential visit. I don't know. They just offered him a week ago, so still relatively early in the process for him, even though he's a 26 kid.
Yeah, looking through just a couple photos and stuff. He's already taken visits to Texas A&M, Iowa, and Oklahoma State. So you would assume the hometown schools, if they want them, they'll probably end up getting them. I shouldn't say hometown because I don't know if he's actually. Oh, he's a Dallas, Texas native, but he's moved around a bit. He was at Faith Family Academy at Oak Cliff. Then he was at Prolific Prep, which was California, but now it's Florida. And now he's back home at Dynamic Prep. So there's a whole jumbled mixture there. But it'll be interesting to see how where he ends up going, where he ends up taking his official visits to, because those were all unofficial. So,
right.
But in order for him to take officials, he probably wants to do that pretty soon because spots are filling up elsewhere.
He did also get an offer from Arizona State a couple of days ago. So, yeah, I wonder if, because he's gotten 2 high major offers in the last couple of days, I wonder if there's anything that's kind of popping up for him in terms of, I don't know how much can be happening or whatever, but,
Yeah, I don't know if they're. I must have just watched him in a workout. I've seen USA Basketball actually list him at 6'6", so take that for what it's worth. So maybe he is a small forward. Who knows?
That would make more sense. Yeah, before the 2 Arizona State and Rutgers offers, his most recent offer before that was Texas State back on July 30th.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Looks like Coach Smoke was leading the way there, and it goes back to kind of Coach Smoke leading the way for almost every recruitment at the moment. And that's why he got a big pay bump this offseason. You can check out his salary on On3 and all their other salaries too, and see how much they're getting paid. But you probably don't want to talk about that right now. But again, that's I really have nothing else to say. I mean, Imahri Wooten, good get, solid start to the class. We'll see where it ends up finishing. Alec, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot. I mean, they're also sending some offers out for 27 and 28 kids, just kind of that recruitment, I guess recruiting year, so to speak, is kind of getting going. So we'll see how it progresses. Not a whole lot basketball wise. I mean, season is about a month or so away, which I can't believe we're already almost at basketball season. It's crazy to me. Especially considering the coaching cycle never ends either. There's been a few jobs that have already opened up.
Yeah, That's the craziest part. There's more than a few. It's like what, 5, 6 now, like something like that. Between guys getting arrested and guys just quitting upright and just saying screw it, I'm done. Absolutely insane. People maybe not running for senator. That was a weird one too. But yeah, I don't know how to describe college basketball at the moment, but it is just basically chaos.
Yeah. There was one other thing that just came out not too long ago.
I know what you're going to talk
the
about.
new Rivals Venmo sponsored Rivals or whatever. You know more about it than I do, so if you want to touch on that.
Yeah, so Big Ten announced rivalry series. It's going to include football, men's basketball, women's basketball. Now, it's presented by Venmo. What does that have to do with anything? Absolutely nothing. It's just Venmo making them say their name every other word if they can. I feel like Venmo's also kind of cornered that market. I like Zelle too, but Cash App feels like it's dead, kind of. Whatever. Anyway, Venmo rivalry series presented by Venmo. It's going to start with football games. Rutgers is only involved in one of these, and it's, of course, take a guess who? Maryland. Wow. I never would have guessed that one. I've only been bitching and moaning for the past couple months about how they need to make it a rivalry, but they kind of officially made it a rival now. Now, what does that mean? Based on the article, nothing. It means absolutely nothing. I don't know if there's no point system, there's no scoring system or anything like that. Like you get 3 points for football and 3 points for basketball, and then I had 3 points for women's basketball. Like, how does it work? I don't know. And then an extra point for every point you win by. No one really knows. But most of these rivalries have trophies already, like Michigan State, Indiana, Minnesota, Iowa. Who else? Michigan State, Penn State. There's a lot of Michigan State rivalries, which is stop pissing people off, I guess. USC, UCLA. Like, there's all trophies. There's a couple that are missing trophies, and Rutgers being one of them. I'm all in on this, I-95 crab state of Delaware pizza trophy. I feel like you can't put pizza in there just because Maryland pizza, I've had it and it sucks.
Lito's pizza, I'm sorry. I have a friend from that area, DC, Maryland, Virginia. It's not it. I'm sorry. Lito's pizza stinks.
Trash. And if I recall correctly, and I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but there was someone in the press box during one of the scrimmages that said Lito's pizza is pretty good. And I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but
I can't agree with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I've
had it multiple times.
Same take. I'd rather I'm trying to think. What's the shittiest pizza in New Jersey? There's got to be a shitty one. Even your local corner store pizza that's open till 2 a.m. and it's just a drive.
I don't know.
Downtown New Brunswick. What's it like? What's the worst pizza in downtown New Brunswick?
I don't know. I haven't had a whole lot of New Brunswick pizza, to be honest with you. I mean, granted, I've tried 7-Eleven pizza. I think Lito's is better than 7-Eleven pizza. I'll give him that.
It is close. That's a good one, actually. I think I'd rather Domino's than Lito's. I hate out of state pizza. I despise it.
With the rivalry, just make it as weird as possible. Let's go full on weird.
Land grant trophy type weird, where there's just a stool and a chair and this and that. Just merge a bunch of shit together and just throw a state of Delaware stamp right on top, and that's it.
The crab trap trophy or something.
The crab trap. There you go. That'd be a good one. I don't know what you could do, a turtle in the night. I don't know. It's just there's something crazy out there, and I just can't think of it. I can't picture it. If you guys can think of it, please. What is your idea for a rivalry trophy? I know I've asked this before, but for technically now we're speaking Maryland at Rutgers, Maryland versus Rutgers. Rephrase, because I'm gonna clip this. So I got to rephrase everything so it sounds perfect. Maryland and Rutgers are now rivals. If you could pick anything in the world, whether it be a crab, a slice of pizza, an I-95 sign, the state of Delaware outline, I don't even know what else you could throw out there. Maybe just throw the blue hen on top of a trophy and say, winner gets this blue chicken. At the end of the day, what would you put on the rivalry trophy for Rutgers and Maryland now that it's an official rival per the Big Ten, sponsored by Venmo?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I am interested how this is going to work for women's basketball, because I said this on Twitter, but the women's basketball schedule is a little bit different. They play 18 games. Half the Big Ten home only, half the Big Ten away only, and then they just switch it. There was only one team that Rutgers has played twice the last season and this upcoming season. That's Penn State. So I wonder if starting next season they'll switch that, make Maryland the home and just swap their place with Penn State in the schedule. I don't know. The men's schedule is a little bit more all over the place. So the women's basketball schedule is much more cut and dry.
Is there any reason for it? Why one being all over the place and one just straight up, like very simple?
I don't know. I mean,
It just seems bizarre.
On the men's side, they play 20 games, so I guess there's not really a clean way to organize that. With 18 games, it's 8 home, 8 away, 1 twice, so it's much easier to organize.
Just seems like absolute madness for no reason. But that's what I love. I love the madness. Give me the fucking crazy trophy. Like I need something. And I've seen some people tweet at us the AI shit. Now with AI, you can really get creative with the trophies. Let me see if I can pop one up real quick. I just don't know what you call it either. There's some really bad ones out there too. Like what are these trophies? Like there's a pig for Iowa, and who is it? I don't even know who this is. The lovable? No, not that one. I don't even know. Damn, I can't find it. I just saw it too.
There's a pig. The first time hearing about that.
It's Iowa. I just don't know who it is with Iowa. I'm gonna pop it up real quick just so people can see. We're going off the rails here, but
Iowa and Minnesota.
Like, what is this?
Floyd the pig.
How does that have anything to do with Iowa and Minnesota?
I don't know. It's just a bronze pig.
That's why I feel like the bronze crab makes so much sense. And I know Maryland's the crab capital of the world, but Jersey has just as good blue crabs. Like it would make too much sense almost. Like there's a barrel for for the Paul Bunyan one, I think. There's something else. We can call it the Ralph Friedgen trophy. Just put Ralph Friedgen, however you say it, on top of a trophy.
There's a lot you can do.
Like, there's so much madness that you could do. Like, there's a bus now for, like, what was it? Michigan and I know the reasoning behind this one. Michigan and Nebraska, and it's because busing with the boys, Tara Luan, and I don't even know that. I know that.
Will Compton, yeah.
Between the two of them, they're busing with the boys, bus trophy. I like that. It's simple. It's funny. There's just so many stupid things out there that it's like, why not? Why not get crazy? Why not get creative? Why can't Rutgers be this creative? So, whatever you guys think, throw it in there. Throw it in the comments below. Throw it on our boards, and someone
Kelly Zinn might have bigger things to worry about on her hands, but this is her newest job.
Newest job is to find the trophy. There's a LSU Tulane, the Battle of the Rag. Like, wow. What are we doing here? Like, this is I kind of hate it, but here, Oregon State, the Platypus Trophy.
Yeah,
the Civil War. Like, oh god, there's so many good options. All right. That's it. I'm off the rails.
We have been off the rails for a while now.
Yeah, no, I think I wanted to end this at like 18, 19, and now it's 28 now. But anyway, that's pretty much it. As always, check us out on thenighreport.com, the Night Report podcast. Hit subscribe below. It's free, it's easy, it's simple, and it helps us grow the show, helps us grow the pod, helps us do more things for you guys too, to get more Rutgers content out there. But for me and Alec, that's another episode of the Night Report podcast. Signing off.